Hello everyone. I don't know if you can hear me or not, because I said I was ready and then I didn't have the microphone. So you probably can't hear me. I apologize. Can you hear me? There. Is that all right? Let me know. I feel like you should be able to hear me now. I always forget my microphone, man. And then I'm like, oh, I'm ready, except they can't hear me. So, all right. Okay, you can hear me. Yes, good. Hello, everybody. So, I want to real quick just go over the reason why some of you just got an email from me today, and some of you got a post yesterday, and some of you probably have no idea what I'm talking about either way, and some of you don't care, and that's cool. Real quick, I just want to tell you, so Patreon made a change to the way that I make posts. It used to be that I could say, hey, show this post to everybody who pledges $5 or more. And it didn't matter if you were in, any one of the different levels, it showed you the post because I said, anybody who gives me $5 or more gets this post. They changed it so that we can drill it down now, which is, on one hand is cool. So I can say, only show it to the people in the $15 level, which in theory is cool. But if you're in the $5 level and you pay $15 a month, you don't get the post now. So I had to email everybody this morning to say, we are having our event today. And I also emailed Patreon and I said, this new feature does not work and you need to fix it immediately. So until they get that fixed, it's possible that you guys will be receiving emails from me rather than Patreon posts. So hopefully they fix it because it doesn't work the way they're doing it right now. So hello everybody, how are you? I know I just rambled over things that you probably don't care about. But I'm really happy to see you. Who did I not say hi to? Debbie. And hello, Summer. I'm glad you're getting back in. Back into painting. Who else did I not say hi to? I said hi to Pat and Atra and Stacy. And is that all we have? Oh, and Sylvie was here earlier. I don't know if she's here right now. Hello, Donna. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. Hopefully we have a few more people join us in a bit. Okay, so for those of you who were not here during our last live directed, we did this. I know, it's really interesting, isn't it? So you guys, I did add a little more to it. So a couple hours after we finished talking last time, I lifted the corner of the plastic and I dripped in some more white. And then I let it dry, and it took forever to dry. Every time I'd set it somewhere, it would leave like a condensation mark, and I was like, gross, it's probably gonna get moldy. It doesn't smell moldy, so that's good. I was worried about it getting moldy. And the other day, I was like, I want to take off the plastic and see what it's like. And then I thought that would be really rude. I should wait and take the plastic off when I'm with my friends. So we'll take the plastic off, and then we can just kind of keep messing with it and see what happens. So, da, 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 da. Ooh, crinkly. So let's see. That is kind of fun. That's some interesting texture. And it actually does have some physical texture. So like with watercolor, you wouldn't be able to feel that. But I can you hear that? Listen. That's the little bits kind of breaking off. That's really fun. And you can see the white and the silver. Let me see if I can get you a little closer to some of the parts I was telling you about. So if you can see right here, see how the white is like around the edges. So that was where I dripped the white in while it was drying, and it just kind of adhered to the edges of the plastic. Kind of gives it a little bit of a frosty look. And let's see. I don't know if I can get you in to see that. You can't see the, well, you can tell that it's metallic a little bit. So this is the silver area, and there's another one here that won't focus. Let's see. Anyway, it looks really cool. This texture is interesting, and that gives me an idea because texture is hard to paint on sometimes. So let's think about that. How are we going to counter that texture, or should we not worry about it? Should we just go over the texture? You guys tell me. And what colors are we going to add? I like texture too. This texture feels kind of fragile. Like as I touch it, I can feel little bits kind of crumbling off. So it's, yeah, little bits are kind of crumbling off. I don't think it would crumble enough to like destroy the image. It doesn't feel like it's going to pick off of the canvas. It's just some of the high points kind of flaking off. Sand it a bit. I don't have any sandpaper. I don't think. No, I don't have any sandpaper. That would be a really good idea, but yeah. I kind of wish this was all watercolor today instead of acrylic, but I'm going to show you guys also what we're going to do. Paint on the texture. Okay. I'm going to show you guys, see there's little bits that broke off of the texture, what we're going to do next week, and maybe at some point today, some of the techniques that I use in next week's painting, we can incorporate into this. That could be fun. All right, let's paint texture. What color? What color are we going to use? Let's think crazy. Let's think contrasting. Let's have fun. Let's be super crazy with this. So give me some color ideas, and I'll start digging through the Boxo paint. As you know how long that takes me. Purple, yellow, 2 for yellow. I like the idea of yellow. It's a nice, especially with orange is a good idea too. Red. I think the warmer colors, so the red, yellows, and oranges, Atra, see, that's kind of why I was saying I wish that it was watercolor, because I think opera pink would be so good in here. If you guys, where's Deb? Deb knows opera pink. Some of you guys may. If you guys are into Daniel Smith, this opera pink is incredible. And I'm not a pink fan, but man, this color would look nice on there. But it's watercolor, so it won't do anything. Yellow, orange, and red, I think, are really great colors to do on this cobalt, because the cobalt is such a high vibrationary color. We kind of talked about vibrating colors before. And the yellow, red, and orange, I think, vibrate highly as well. I know I sound like a hippie here, but it's totally a thing. Vibrationary colors. All right, so I have my orange out. Where is my Cad Yellow Light? I'm going to go with Cad Yellow Light. Maybe not. Cad Yellow Deep. Let's do Cad Yellow Deep. And sorry guys, that was probably really loud, wasn't it? One more color I'm looking for. If you've never been to one of these before, I think all of you pretty much have, except Summer, I think. Summer, have you ever been to one of these before? But I think if you've never been to one of these before, I should tell you, this is the most boring part. It's watching me pick through the Boxo paint. Where? There it is. Okay, Cad Red Medium. These will be good colors, I think. Oh, Summer's been to one. Well, good. So you've probably seen me pick through the Boxo paint before. let's start with the yellow. And shout out some suggestions, guys. Let's just get crazy with this one today, because this is all about just kind of playing and not really caring what happens. You know, I'm always preaching to you guys that that's an important thing to do, is to just, you know, sorry, I know it's a Halloween plate. It's sitting over here. Just playing without caring what happens is really important to do. And I think that it's something that we don't do enough. I certainly don't do it enough because, you know, painting is my job. And sometimes I feel like if I play around like that, that I'm wasting time that I could be instead preparing, you know, videos for you guys or something else important to do. And so, and especially like when we do these events, a lot of times I'm like, well, there's a little bit of a pressure that I have to come up with something that looks good to keep them interested and keep them thinking that I'm a valid artist. But today I just feel like playing. So shout out any ideas you have. So just because I'm playing doesn't mean I'm not going to pay attention to composition. I do like the idea of splatters, Pat. That is a little more detail, and I have a bit of an idea. So remind me about yellow splatters if I don't come back to that, okay? So what I was saying is, just because I'm playing doesn't mean that I'm not going to pay attention to things like composition and the way colors interact with each other. You know, those are always good places to start when just kind of playing. You know, if you just grab a brush and you're just like scribble and don't think about anything and don't, you know, pay attention to anything, sometimes something good can come from it, but sometimes at the end it's going to be like nothing. And that's kind of how this started. And that's fine as a place to start, but now it's time to start kind of dialing into composition and, you know, technique and everything, even though I'm still just playing to see what happens. So the first thing I'm going to look at, is the color that we already talked about. So we picked the colors, and I told you why we picked those colors. Let me just see if you can see my mess. Yes, there's another computer sitting right there on the ground. I just have computers everywhere. So what I'm going to do is, since this is a square one, it's a little bit different when thinking of the rule of thirds. So rule of thirds, we draw a line on each side right here. So we have 3 equal sections. And we do it here. So we have 3 equal sections. So my rule of third lines cross right about here, but look, I've already got a line there. So I'm going to stick with that, man. I'm going to get some of my yellow, and I'm going to I like to do that a lot with abstracts, is kind of see what's already being insinuated and then going with that. You know, if that's where my 1/3 mark is and there's already a line there, then I'm going to just say, oh, that's a hint that that's exactly where I should be focusing. There's no line here, and I feel like drawing a line there would be disingenuous. So I'm just going to fuzz it out. Fade it all the way over until it's just completely gone. I love, love, love this color with the cobalt blue. We have glare. I'm not going to worry about the glare because I worried about the glare a lot last time and I irritated myself with it. So there's a glare and I don't care. I like that little area that I made just a little bit thicker. I'll hold it up in a minute. I really like that. I like that. There's not really a line here that goes across, but I'm going to kind of play and pretend that that line just fizzled out as it went over this way. So actually this is kind of reminding me of that last abstract video that I did. Let's see, somebody said brush or palette knife. So that's funny that you say palette knife, Debbie. We will talk about that here very shortly. That is just such a sassy color, that cadmium yellow. Deep. It's a great color. Okay. What next? I do want to come back to the yellow splatters. I think yellow splatters will be really fun on this. But that does feel a little more like detail work. You feel like it's upside down? Okay, let's flip it around and see. Oh, there. See, now you can tell that area where I made it a little heavier there. I really like that. Is that upside right, or is it like that? Or is it... I kind of like that. What do you guys think? Tell me, what's your favorite one? Where do you want the yellow to be? This is my vote, but I am open to any votes you guys have. It does kind of look like graffiti, doesn't it? Just gonna scoot a little bit of it up that edge. This one? Donna votes this way. Do we have any other votes? Pat likes this one too. Atra, is this one good for you? I wish I had like really good penmanship, or could like fake really like I wish I could do graffiti. Stacy liked the last one. What was the last one? Is it like that? Okay. Let's, and we can keep, you know, there's no reason you have to decide what is the top and what is the bottom until you're done and ready to hang it on the wall. I wish I knew how to do like good graffiti, like writing, because I would totally just like scour this thing with graffiti. But I'm just not, I am not good like that. I don't got it. Let's see. I feel like this is going to become very geometric. Hello, Eileen. Yeah, we like it this way? Okay. I do like it this way. I do kind of feel like this is going to be very geometric, which is funny because we have all of these, like, it's very messy also. But because of the shape, being that it's square, and then we have all of the lines from the drips and everything. The lines are already kind of creating a grid pattern, right? We had the one going that way. We have a bunch that are going this way and others going that way. So I kind of like that. I think I'm going to stick with that. Yell at me at any time that you get other ideas, you guys. I can never get this color open. I would love putting writing on my painting if my handwriting weren't so bad. I don't know. I guess, I don't know. I talk about how bad my handwriting is, but then sometimes I look at it and I'm like, it's not that bad. But I think I had a teacher who was just really aggressive about it when I was a kid, telling me that I had really horrible handwriting. So I think that that kind of scarred me. So, what was his name? It started with it. It was one of those names that starts like an SCH. Like, anyway, he was mean, and I didn't like him, you guys. Yeah, see, that's how I am, Atra. Yeah, calligraphy, that's just a skill that I will never have. Okay, I got some CAD Red Medium. I'm kind of noticing there's a little bit of a line here, which is, it's not exactly on a 1/3 mark, but it's pretty close. So I think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to put a hard edge there where that line is, and just fuzz out the bottom of it. Oh, look, it's re-wetting that ink. All right, that's a good lesson, guys. Liquitex ink re-wets. So if you're going to put the ink in your painting, be aware that you will get pink when you run red over it next time, like I just did. Nobody likes surprise pink. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the only person who hates surprise pink. Did I go to high school in Utah? I have lived here my whole life, friend. So I most assuredly did. Well, when I was like 4, we lived in Fontana for like less than a year. But other than that, I did. Surprise pink, go away. And what's really horrible about it is CAD Red Medium doesn't really make pink. It kind of makes like peach. So now I have surprise peach. And that's kind of thrown off my whole deal. I'm not enjoying surprise peach. I don't know that I really like that. Also, I'll show you guys, not only, I'm going to show you what we're doing next week, but also I'm going to show you, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen the pictures that I've been posting lately about like a piece that I've been working on for myself. So if you guys want, I will show you the whole piece. If you don't want to see it, that's cool. I won't make you. Bye, Summer. Pat, I'm not huge. I think sometimes pink has its place. It depends on what and where and all that, but yeah, I'm not a big pink fan. You guys want to see? All right, here, I'm going to hold it up so you can see it without the glare and everything. You know what this feels like to me? It feels like a 1980s Trapper Keeper. Right? So it's like in the 80s, everything was like abstract and like very primary colors. And that's what this feels like to me. It says, I am a 1980s Trapper Keeper design. So we'll figure that out. We'll fix it up. Hello, Shannon. I'm glad you're here. All right, I'll show you guys. But first, let me get rid of this gum. Sorry. I don't chew gum much. In fact, I haven't chewed gum for, it's been like 5 years. And then just recently I was like, I need some gum. And now I think gum is weird because it's been so long since I chewed gum. Okay, so next week, I want to show you what we're going to paint. It's a super short video. It's seriously like, I think it's under 18 minutes long. So you guys remember like Before, forever, it was like every single week my video was getting longer and longer and longer and longer. And now it's like every single week the video is getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So next week it'll probably be like a 2-minute video. No, hopefully not. But so next week's video is very short. I did not intend for it to be that short. It just happened. It's just under 18 minutes long. And I'm really excited about it. And I really hope that you guys like it. So I'm going to show you, and I want you to guess why I'm excited about it, okay? I'm not going to tell you right at first, because you know how I am. I like to torture you. So I just did it on a little 6x6. You can do it on a larger size if you like. I just felt like that was a lot of kind of wasted space to add time, because the focus of this painting was not the painting itself. The focus of the painting was the technique. So let's see. I'll pop you back over to the camera so that you can see it up close a little bit more. So here's the painting from next week's video. Da, 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 da. It's just a little tiny landscape. So that's next week, 18 minutes. And can you guess what kind of technique is used on this and why I'm excited about it? Ooh, look at that texture. Lots of texture. So what do you guys think? What am I excited about? Paper towel? Nope. It is definitely loose. A palette knife? Close, Pat, but no. So this entire painting was done using 2 implements, and neither of them was a brush or a palette knife, or my fingers, or a paper towel, or a fan brush. It was done completely with, can you guys, do you recognize that sound? Let's see. All right, I'll stop teasing you. It was done entirely with a spoon that has obviously been through the garbage disposal, and in fact, my fork still has paint on it. So yeah, this entire painting was done with a spoon and a fork. The whole thing. No brush, no palette knife, no nothing. So a lot of people ask, you know, well, what if I don't have a palette knife, you know, whatever. So I thought, well, let's explore alternative things that we can use if we don't have a palette knife. And I'm telling you, if you struggle with a palette knife, if you feel like you don't like painting with a palette knife, then you have to try it with a spoon. Because, you know, when you're painting along with a palette knife and you're like, crap, I just scraped it, or everything has such a hard edge look. Hello, Amy. I feel like sometimes a palette knife being flat really causes issues. I have issues with it sometimes. So if you have issues with a palette knife, you absolutely have to try it with a spoon. It is so nice. It is so smooth. Even the background, the solid blue of the sky, the whole thing, done with a spoon. Exactly, Debbie. No excuses. If you don't have a palette knife, grab a spoon. And yes, plastic spoons work fine. I know that a lot of you are probably like, I am not using my good utensils on a painting. And that's fine. You can use plastic if you like. The fork was really more for texture. It doesn't apply a lot of paint, but, you know, a tiny bit, and it was really nice for texture. So obviously the fork is how I did, you know, like the little grass shoots, and like scraped in the little tree bark, tree branch, tree trunk, whatever it's called. Little tree trunk bits in there with the fork. Everything else was done with the spoon. The clouds, everything. And it was really fun. So I hope that you guys enjoy the technique, and I hope you're not like, it's dumb. Now you're just getting gimmicky, lady. Oh, my fork has been through the garbage disposal too. It's got a sharp bit on the handle and it just scratched me. Yeah, so, oops, that's still wet. So on Tuesday, you guys, don't be late if you wanna hang out while it's live, because it's only 18 minutes long, the video. So if you're a little bit late, you're gonna miss the whole thing. Anyway, we can use some of those techniques, if you like, on here today too. So be thinking about that. And oh, still wet. Stop touching wet paint. It is smoke, Amy. It's incense. It's an incense stick. I don't be late. Yeah, I don't have a dentist appointment this week, so I won't be late. So yes, Amy, it is smoke, but it's not bad for you. Yucky smoke. It smells so good. I found this brand of incense that I used to love when I was a kid. I found it on Amazon, like a big, huge pack of it for, like $20. And I was like, heck yeah. So I bought a bunch of it. So I'm like incensing all of the things. My house smells awesome. What are you dealing with there, Atra? Oh, the smoke. I know. Golly, you guys, I feel so bad about all of those fires that are still going on in California. And now, we've got this smoky air here again. And this has just been a really bad year. And then the poor folks in the East getting just pummeled by snow. Yeah, it's been a rough year. Hopefully everybody has exactly the winter that they want from here on out, including the East. No more yucky, horrible storms or fires. Hey, Atra, did they catch, because I heard that the fire there now was started by a campfire. Did they catch the person did they know who did it? Because I kind of feel like that should be an important thing to find out. Okay, you know what I kind of want to do, you guys? Since we're just playing. So that book that I showed you last week, or last 2 weeks, where I got this technique from. So she does something, I don't have it here. Oh yeah, I do still have it right here, because I never put anything away. Oh, it's called Campfire because of the location. Oh, I thought it was from an actual campground fire. So this book, where I got the technique with the plastic that we did last week, another thing that she does a lot, and I'll see if I can find a picture. Actually, there's on the cover is kind of like that. She does negative space painting. If you guys have never done negative space painting, I highly encourage you to try it, because it can be really fun. It can be really maddening. Takes a lot of patience and could possibly make you crazy. But if you just kind of use it as like a little Zen thing, a little meditative moment for yourself, negative space painting is really fun. I've done it a little bit. I feel like it works better with watercolor than with acrylic, but it's definitely possible in acrylic. So let me show you here real quick. If you see this painting, it's hard to tell in the camera, but so this whole canvas, or this whole piece of paper, she really painted in, whatever, the whole thing is painted in colors. The trees, she just kind of drips and flows and everything. So there's no actual white space on here. Nor did she use, probably because she doesn't usually use that, any of the rubber stuff that you paint on to resist. So what she does is she goes in afterwards with gouache or white acrylic, and she paints in between little areas. So all of this white is added after the fact. She had her trees, and then she comes in and paints around all of the little branches. And it's a really fun way to kind of She did it on this one too. Right up in those branches, all that white is painted after the fact. It's a really fun way to kind of accentuate things that you like while also getting rid of things that you might not like. And I do kind of feel like I want to do some of that up in here because I really like the blue, that cobalt blue. So I want to do that, and I want to show you. I think I've shown you before. I have a little painting, a little watercolor that I did a while ago with quite a bit of negative space painting on it. Let's see, I think it's over here somewhere. Oh, there it is. So I think I posted this on Instagram a long time ago. There is actually, there's a little bit of white from the paper showing down here at the bottom, but all of this up here is gouache painted over color. So it's all negative space painting. This whole piece of paper right there was probably green and looks like pink, and it was probably pretty dark. And I painted around the tree, painted in between all of those little branches. So see if I hold it closer, you can tell. That little branch is not drawn on top, it's painted around. Same with all of these. So negative space painting can be really, really fun. It does take a certain amount of... What is gouache? So gouache, Debbie, is kind of a mix between acrylic and watercolor. It's like it's an opaque watercolor. So it acts like watercolor, but it's opaque like acrylic. And you can get gouache in any colors, and you can use them, you know, as a paint all on their own. I only have white gouache, and I use it to block out, you know, other little bits of acrylic or watercolor like I just showed you. So you can leave it on your palette just like watercolor, stick a wet brush in it, and you get it just like watercolor, but you can cover with it more like acrylic. Who is it? I think Atra and Eileen, and I think someone else here today too, has done some gouache painting. Atra, didn't you do some gouache painting? I know Eileen did someone just recently. So I have my cobalt blue, because that's what we started here. I really like these shapes, but I don't like this white kind of, it just looks messy and unplanned. So I'm gonna let myself get into the Zen zone, paint out the things I don't like, and, you know, keep the things that I do like. Oh, Atra's just used the white too. So I've got my blue. So I'm just gonna start painting out these little bits that I don't like. And whatever shape I do like, see how I just got right up toward that black? This brush might not be real good for a tight negative painting, but I had never really considered negative painting at all until I started reading that book that I showed you. And man, you guys, even though it's a watercolor book, there's a lot of concepts and techniques in there that I've taken to use in acrylic as well. I think it's good to read books outside of your chosen medium, because you never know what you're going to learn that you can apply to yourself and what you do. Because, you know, sometimes a lot of the concepts are the same. Color theory, you know, composition, things like that. Well, hello, Vince.
Hey.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna ride to the store.
He's going to the grocery store. Isn't he sweet?
Does anybody want anything?
He wants to know if anybody needs anything from the grocery store. All right, don't fall down.
Okay.
And drive safe.
I'm gonna see what I need to add, and then I'll just bring it in.
Okay,
So what?
sounds good.
Maybe like some
Okay. I'll see you in a little
else
bit.
anything?
No, everybody said they're good. Okay. And what's really cool about, sorry about that, guys. What's really cool about negative painting is you can, decide what you do and don't like. If I'm like, oh, I don't like this little bit in here. I took the dark color up too far. I want more of the blue. Then I just bring that blue right back down just as far as I want. You can cover up anything you don't like. So now I'm starting to get some of that blue back. Oh, Debbie, that does sound like fun. I haven't no pizza today. I haven't done that. I might have to try that. So yeah, that's like reductive drawing. And that does sound really fun. Let's see. You can't tell too much just yet. It looks like dancing women. It does, doesn't it? Right here, 3 of them. Nice call. Yeah, I would end up covered in charcoal. Look, it looks like this woman has her arms upraised. I wish I were a better drawer of people. Then I would like totally, maybe I should anyway. Remember, I always tell you guys to just go for it and just do it. And it doesn't matter if it doesn't turn out. So maybe I should do that too. But I got to let that dry for just a little bit because it's still very wet there. And I don't want to fight with the black and the blue scooting together. But I do like that. I gotta put some paint away. I showed you guys how to put paint away before, right? You take your tube, and if you pinch it on the sides, so if you pinch it sideways, not like this, sideways, it sucks in. So let me show you. Let me get the paint set up. Okay. So see how the paint is like right there at the tip of the tube? And then if I push sideways, see it drops down inside. So to suck it up, you get your paint so it's like that. And then push the sides and sucks it right back up. I'm sure most of you know that, but I know that that was probably helpful to somebody. Well, hi, Olaf. Did Daddy leave and not take you with him? God, that was rude, wasn't it? You have to stay home with Mama? Poor thing. Can you hear him? He's over here going... Because he's a boxer and that's what they do, huh? But he's a cute boxer. He likes to chew tubes of paint, so I have to be... Hey, get your nose out of there. I have to be diligent and make sure that he doesn't chew up my tubes of paint. Let's just get this one, and then I'll show you the painting that I'm working on, that I've been posting on Instagram. So has everybody seen those pictures that I post on Instagram? Like the one I did yesterday, everybody said it looked like a purple mouth, and it does look like a purple mouth. Yeah, Debbie, sometimes I usually do pretty good about not putting out too much paint. I'll put out less than I think I need, but once in a while I think, oh, I'm going to use a lot of this color, and then I don't. So I'm always putting away a lot of extra paint. So I'll show you the pictures that I'm talking about, just in case you haven't seen them. I'm kind of enjoying posting these photos that, like just little snippets of a painting, because it's fun. It's also fun for me to, kind of focus on a little tiny area and see how that one little area has changed. So here's the first photo that I posted. So that's just one little tiny spot on a painting that I've been working on for myself. And then yesterday I posted an update to it because I've added some more. So that is the exact same spot. And I know it looks like purple lips. So it looks like a smile, but it's not. So I will show you guys. I hadn't planned on showing you this, so I don't have it over here. Oops, sorry. I know my computer is screaming. I don't know why it's running really high, but Olaf, you stink. It's a good thing I have incense going. So this, yeah, I mean, I guess it does kind of look like a smile right now, but it's not. So this is still like, this is only 2 layers in, and you guys know how I like a trillion layers, especially when I'm painting for myself. I'll tend to go even more layers than I ever do in a video. So this still needs many, many, many more layers. But here is the whole painting. Da, 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 da. So that little part in the Instagram photo is actually right here. It's this eye. So it's not a purple mouth, but yeah, it does kind of, see, I guess if it's close up, it does kind of look like a mouth. But so that is what I've been working on. Yay! So we'll see how it turns out. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I thought about doing it as a tutorial, but I really wanted to dig into it and really challenge myself with the layers. And sometimes when I do that in videos, I'm like, oh, this has to be the last layer. They're gonna get, sick and tired of watching you put layer upon layer on here. Or sometimes when I do videos, I'm like, 2 layers is enough. And then I think you just preached at them about adding layers to make something look, more intense or interesting or whatever, and then you did 2 layers. So I didn't want to have to be kind of confined by that. So yeah, I decided to do that one for myself. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll Thanks, Shannon. I do get comments sometimes though. Do I have to do that many layers? Is that many layers really necessary? No. If you knock it out in 1 layer and you're happy with it, that's great. If it takes you 50 times as many layers as I do, that's great too. But yeah, sometimes there's an image that I'm like, I just want to do that for me. So that's where that one's coming from. So I know, you guys would never say that. I appreciate it. Yeah, so if you're on Instagram, be on the lookout for more people, I was reading comments. Some people want instant results. It's true, Pat, and that's fine. Everybody's goals are different. So if you're on Instagram, keep your eyes open for that, because I'll be posting more as I add to it. And then you guys can be like, ha, I know what it is. Please don't say that out loud. Hello, 10. Welcome. I thought you were on vacation. You should be on vacation, enjoying your vacation. But please don't say, haha, I know what it is, and get everybody like all riled up and yeah. So, should we try? And should I try? Do I dare? Should we do the, if I'm going to try and paint in those dancers that we see, what color should I use? I was just going to go with black and white, but I mean, what do you guys think? Oh, it's still a little wet there. Black and white or, oh, good idea, Eileen. feel even more special with their own private tutorial? Well, see, here's the thing, is stick with black and white. That's kind of what I was leaning on. Here's the thing is I have been recording as I've been painting that. I have not been recording it as a tutorial. So there's no, well, there's talking. It's like me and Vince talking, or we're watching TV, or I'm yelling at Olaf to go away, or because he stinks, not because I don't like him. Paint the right line as smoke. So right here, Donna, I kind of like that too. But I was planning on doing a couple of things. Maybe releasing like a super time-lapse version of it publicly, maybe. I haven't decided on that yet. And then releasing maybe like a slightly slower time-lapse to you guys with a little bit of like, and then I did this, and here's what I'm doing here, you know, with kind of talking over top of it. So those are a couple options that I'm thinking of with that. But yeah, I have recorded it so far. Everything I've painted on that has been recorded, so I can share with you. Yes, Atra, that's exactly kind of what I was thinking. So I'm going to need my, that was black paint, promise. Come on. I think this black paint is getting old. It's getting really like thick. I need matte medium. I don't know why I'm sitting over here with no matte medium on in my Boxo paint, but I'm gonna need some matte medium. So let me get up again. Okay. So, yeah, I like the smoky idea because they already kind of have that anyway. Where do you see a mask? Shannon, point that out to me. I'm not seeing a mask. Oh, you know what? I kind of see a fourth woman right here. So like her face, her chest, her arms. It's like her hair flowing out, her dress. So she's kind of up higher and facing this way, which is funny because then it makes this lady look like she's raising her arms up to her. It's like a little bit of a Rorschach test going on in here, huh? Triangles for eyes on the far left one before the red. You must be seeing a lady I don't see, because I see 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5? There's 5? Where's the 5th one, you guys? I don't see a 5th one. I'm open to seeing a 5th one, but I don't see her just yet. I just see those 4. Triangles of the mask. Maybe I'll see it as we go. But that's all I'm seeing. All right, so I have some black, white, and some, that's matte medium. And I'm going to use my number 5 round brush. And this poor round brush, I don't know what I did to it. Or, oh, you know what? It came to me like this. So while it was being shipped to me, one of the little plastic bit came off. And when I took it out of the box, it was like all crushed. So it's kind of bent. So you guys may have seen my poor bent number 5. It's much better than it used to be. It used to be like that. But so I'm using my poor little bent number 5. So I'm going to get just a little bit of black. And a little bit of matte medium. I'm going to start with quite a bit of black. Right below the 4th lady's dress. On the left. and more black. So this would be the left blacker area. I don't know, maybe I'll see her. It almost looks like a dragon to me there. Sorry, guys. I know you guys are probably like screaming at me. It's right there. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But see, if I use the negative space painting in conjunction with this, then I don't have to worry so much about, you know, getting the ladies right the first time, because I can paint around anything that I do that I'm like, oh, I don't really like the way that turned out. I just picked up some matte medium there, because I feel like this is part of her dress kind of blowing out or whatever. I'm just really using a very light touch. See, my brush is barely doing anything. I'm still just picking up matte medium. Let's fill in some of that. Just matte medium. I don't know, I feel like she looks less like a lady now that I started than she did. Let's get just a tiny hint of white. Am I making you guys crazy? You're like, that's not where she was at all. Back up and look. I don't see it. Somebody take a screenshot and circle it and like email it to me or something. Let me know if you do so I can go look for it. Let's see. Let me clean this off. Or like outline it. Don't just circle it. Because if you just circle it, I'll be like, I know what part you're talking about, but I don't see it. All right, I got matte medium and white. Because this lady, I see her face, it's kind of upturned right there. Like I feel like that's her face looking up. And the top of her head, and her hair's kind of flowing this way. And I feel like here's an arm. It's one of her arms leading down into her body. Here's her other one. Very abstract ladies. I'm down with that. All right, Ultra's doing it now. Good. Ooh, there's a helicopter. It sounds like that helicopter is about to land in my neighborhood. Can you guys hear that? I feel like that is her dress, and so she's super abstracted. Definitely not the same proportions as a normal woman. But I'm going to grab some of this cobalt and come in here and erase all of this area. See, that's down the back of her dress there. See, I can clean up her shape. pull that down just a little bit right there. You messaged it to me. I know, where is Deb? And Gretchen. Okay, let me grab my phone. Okay, so Atra showed me the mask. Oh, I do see it now. Okay, I see the mask now. So here's Atra's drawing of the mask. Is that what you guys are seeing too? So right here, eye, nose, mouth, forehead, and then he almost looks like he has horns. I mean, I'm not trying to get creepy. I'm just saying maybe he has horns. I would never judge. You know that. I would never, ever judge. So yeah, I do see that mask now. And right above that is the fifth lady. This fifth lady in me, she's like being totally evasive. I know, Shannon, I do always kind of take things creepy. It's just who I am, man. I don't try to... That helicopter's coming back, you guys. I can hear it again. I don't, like, intentionally try to be creepy. It just kind of happens. So there's a little bit more bright white for her face area. I'm going to say that her hair's flowing down a little bit in this shape, where it almost seems like she's wearing a veil or something, don't you think? Put a little extra bright white on her shoulder there. She's kind of got these little stick arms, but that's okay. Let's pop some brightness on her hands. The edge of her dress to really set her apart from that background. And then she just kind of disappears down into this. Like there's no separation between her and the area below. Just kind of happens. A pointed head. So are you talking about this point right here? Is that what we're saying is a head? Yay for 2-year-olds. I'm liking the way this lady looks. What are you guys thinking? Do we like her? I'm trying to really focus on like hard edges and lost edges. So does everybody know what a lost edge is? It's basically just like it's blurred out, but you know there should be an edge there. So I guess she doesn't really have any lost edges on the outside, but kind of inside her figure, some lost edges that kind of give her that flowy, ghosty look. All right, I like her. All right, somebody's got to outline that fifth lady for me too. Y'all are going to think that I'm like crazy because I can't see her, but I really have no idea what we're calling a fifth lady. All right, just some black. Let's paint in this lady. This one, she almost seems to have like a really strange like hat on or something. Like, have you guys ever seen the movie Amadeus, the old movie from the 80s about Mozart? Obviously, since it's called Amadeus. This area that kind of looks like a hat to me reminds me of the hat that his father wears at the party, the costume party that they go to. So I'm going to expand that. I'm going to really give this hat some shape. Pull those brims out. Whoa, now she kind of looks like Zorro or something. She's a very mysterious lady. There must be like a really bad wreck or something up there, guys, because I keep hearing the helicopter's coming back again. You see her without the glare. Oh, good. Good, good, good. Yeah, I mean, I like bright, cheerful art sometimes, but it is not my jam all the time. I don't have anything against it, but I don't always want to do it. Let's see. I can kind of make like a hard edge right there. So where it meets the white, and that kind of helps say that this lady, her dress overlaps this lady's dress. Let's kind of fuzz her down a little bit more because it kind of stops abruptly. So I just picked up some matte medium. Just pull it down there. And that, again, that ink is re-wetting, so it's mixing with it a bit. And that way she just kind of disappears. Second pick scent. Okay. Now, because of what I did with this hat, she reminds me of Carmen Sandiego. She has a big booty. I kind of picture that they're all wearing like taffeta dresses, like those big boofy dresses. I don't have it yet. I do. I like that first lady too. I like her a lot too. This lady, I feel like she's fighting me a little bit more. Maybe we'll kind of just let her sit and think about what she's done. I feel like her arm is right here. So kind of like she's got her arm like back a bit. So like shoulder, her arm comes down here, and then her forearm out this way. But then it looks like she's karate chopping the other lady. The first lady, she really does look ethereal, doesn't she? I think maybe this technique doesn't work so well with, yeah, Acha, it's not coming through. It doesn't work so well with black, probably because the color underneath it is just, there's not enough of a value difference between the black and the blue. But I think I'm going to kind of keep playing with these. They look like folds in her dress. Just a little bit more white. See, those already just look like folds. But I really would like for you guys to do something, you know, similar, just kind of exploring and play like this, you know? And let's see. One sec. Yep, I just saw it pop up, Donna. I was too slow to get it before the little pop-up went away, so I gotta... Oh, Atra, so you emailed it to me. Okay, I got the text. Yeah, I know what area you guys are saying she's in. I'm just not seeing her. Okay, I know exactly where you guys are talking about now. I still just, it doesn't click with me. So yeah, everybody's saying right here. And I see that little spot, but you know what it kind of looks like to me is Cocopelli. That's what it kind of reminds me of, is the little Cocopelli thing. Really, the techniques that I'm using here on this lady anyhow are very similar to the techniques that I did in the ghost painting that we did last Halloween. Remember that? It's a very, very similar technique. Just very thin layers, one right over the other. It's very satisfying. I really enjoy painting like this. Let's see, what if we do a little bit of that white in here? Maybe if we add some white. But like with the base of black. Maybe that will work out. Then I can say where her arm was. Remember I said that I see her arm bending in a particular way. Atra, now she's really self-conscious that you made a comment about her booty. Not really. Guys, this is super fun and meditative. I feel like I could do this for a long time, just keep going with it. Let's put just a little smear of a lighter color on her face, just so we know that's where her face is. Yes, she does, doesn't she? And I really have no part in that because that was all from the crinkly bits. See, and then where I got that black a little out of control and I lost her arm, I can just cover that right up. I want to make a video about, you know, like using art in a meditative way. And, you know, because I think that way too often we approach any kind of painting, whether we're like, I don't know what to paint, so I'm just going to kind of break this canvas and see what happens, or you're painting a tutorial, or, you know, whatever you're doing, I think that we all, me included, kind of approach it with, but something has to happen. Like, I have to be proud of what comes out in some way. And, you know, rather than just honestly not caring at all. Like, I couldn't care less what happens to this painting. If I'm enjoying these ladies. I'm enjoying painting them in. But honestly, like, if all of a sudden I look over and I'm like, nope, these ladies look horrible and, you know, whatever, I really don't care. I don't care. And that's not because I'm not invested in it, you know, because it's not a painting that I really like. It's just something I'm doing for you guys or with you guys. It's not that at all. It's because I'm approaching this with more of my intention in doing this is enjoyment. I'm just kind of experimenting. It's when I do things like this for myself, it's very meditative because there is no pressure. And I don't think that you can have kind of a meditative, relaxing experience at all if there's any kind of pressure. You know, you can only have one or the other, I think. You can only have an experience that is like, I'm proud of this, this was productive, I set out to accomplish something and that's exactly what I accomplished. Or an experience that makes you feel a certain way. I don't think that you can have them both. I think you can have one or the other. That's not to say that if you are using art as a meditative experience that you won't like what comes out of it. But if you put pressure on yourself, then you absolutely won't have that meditative experience. That's for sure. And I just keep seeing all these crinkles that still just look like part of her dress kind of fading into this, you know, the rest of these shapes. And so I really want to follow that and kind of see how far I can keep that illusion of her dress going. But anyway, I've been wanting to make some videos where I, you know, kind of focus on meditation rather than, all right, now do this, put this here, use this color, don't do it like this or you'll get this, you know. But I don't know if that's something that would be valuable to anybody except me. So let me know what you think. Yeah, I think that the holidays being so stressful, you know, that could definitely be helpful then as well. But I don't know. Sometimes I feel like, I think you're probably the only person in the world who would like that. Nobody else would care about that. And I know there's definitely a percentage of the people who watch my videos who they really don't care about that. And they'd be like, what is this? Because they're into, I just want to make a painting that I can hang on my wall or I can give it to mom, or, you know, I just want to feel the pride of creating something. And that's okay. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with having that be the only reason that you pick up a paintbrush. That's perfectly fine. That is not, honestly, none of that is the reason that I ever pick up a paintbrush when I'm painting for myself. I almost always go into it for myself with the feeling of, I don't really care what this looks like. I'm just going to enjoy and see what happens. And sometimes nothing but junk happens. But sometimes things that I'm really proud of happen. And I'm just kind of rambling to myself because I found a little Zen moment here. So if you guys are talking to me, I apologize. I'll look up and check in on you in just a second. I'm just using heavier paint here to really kind of pop some white highlights. I'm really enjoying this lady right here, and I don't feel like I'm ready to move on from her yet. All right. I will quit being in my own world and see what you guys have to say. Good, Pat. Yeah. Yes. And, you know, I really feel like I was in the float there just now. Let me see if I can show you without glare. I do really like her. The other ladies, not so much, but I can either say, oh, there's only one lady, and, you know, maybe paint out any of the other things I don't like, or maybe, like, look, she's there, guys. Boom, she is right there. She's obvious. And maybe the other ones will just be a little bit more of a suggestion, and she will be a little bit more, you know, pronounced than any of the others. And I'm okay with that idea too. Yeah, I like her a lot. And all of that just from crumpled up plastic. And you know what? Now I really hate all of these other colors. Now I really want this area to be the focus. I want this area to be the focus. And so there's something that I think a lot of people who are maybe a little bit newer to painting, but also just people in general, are afraid of in art is negative space. There's a lot of people who are like, this is just like a big negative space, so something has to go in there. I am not afraid of negative space. I like negative space. And I'm really sorry that you guys like the yellow, and Audra just said that the yellow was cool and looked like water. But I feel like in order to really make this lady the focus, which she's in a great place to be the focus, because she's really about in a 1/3 cross section, right? So she is essentially the focus. But to make sure that she is like really the focus, I'm just going to paint all of these sections black. And I know that that probably makes some of you very nervous. Just big swaths of black on a canvas, but you know, with nothing else in it. And maybe when I'm done with it, I won't like it either. But then I can change it again. I am not afraid. It's just about making decisions as they arise, you know. When I looked at the whole picture, I felt like she really needed to be the focus. She was the most interesting thing of the whole painting. And everything else was just kind of like clashing. It didn't feel like it belonged in the same painting as her. So I'm just going to paint it all out. Away with the red and yellow. The red definitely has to go. Ooh, Shannon, I like that idea too. You know, the interpretation, that is what I think is so fun about abstract, you know, is the interpretation is for everyone. I think that a lot of people don't like abstract because they're afraid to say, and there are a lot of people who say, I just don't get it, you know, but there's a lot of people who say, I don't like it because they're afraid to say, I don't get it, because they're afraid they're going to sound dumb or, you know, ignorant or whatever. But that's just because there's snobby people in art sometimes, and they make you feel like if you don't get it, then you just don't get art. And that is not a factual statement. What I think, and I've said this so many times before, but, you know, a lot of people who don't get abstract is because they feel like there should be something to get. They feel like they're missing something. The person who painted it was clearly trying to say something. This painting clearly means something. I don't know what that thing is, so I must be missing something. I don't get it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it makes me feel because it makes me feel dumb because I don't get it. But I think that we have to, if you feel that way, you have to let that go because that's not what abstract art is at all. Abstract art is there for interpretation. Like me, honestly, I'm sure that every artist, and there's that white again poking through. You can't see it there. When it dries, you'll be able to see it. There are people who definitely their abstract art has a meaning to them. You know, when they were painting it, there was something that they felt like they were trying to communicate. I'm never interested in what that something is. I'm only interested in how that piece of art makes me feel. And I don't like that black. So, like, I will never ask an artist, well, why did you do that? What does this mean? Because I don't care. When I used to own my gallery, you know, I would have people, I just picked up some white and matte medium there. I would have people come in and say, oh, well, what did the artist mean when they painted this? And I guess I sounded like a really ignorant gallery owner. I would always say, I have no idea and I don't care. I've never asked. Because I think what it means to the viewer is more valid. It's a more valid point to the viewer anyway, right? Like, do you really care what an artist was thinking when they painted something? But do you really care? I mean, you might be curious about it and, you know, but I don't really care. When I look at it, the initial feelings that I get from it are the feelings that I want to hold on to. That's what I want to think about when I look at that painting. And I don't care what the artist intended. In fact, I have a painting that I bought from one of my friends. It's beautiful and it's sad and it's, you know, I have all these emotions that it makes me feel when I look at it and, you know, things that it reminds me of. And my friend who painted it, on the back of the canvas, there's an envelope. And in the envelope is a story or a letter or something that says what the painting is about. And I have never even opened that envelope because I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't want to know because I know it will ruin the whole painting for me and I don't care. Yeah, I could always cut it out and do something else with the piece of canvas. But I mean, while we're here, we can keep messing with it. And there's never a point where you have to stop. You know, there's never a point where you have to stop. I usually stop when I think, okay, I have no idea what else to do now. I feel like it's not done, but I'm not sure what else it needs. Then I'll stop and I won't look at it, you know, for a while. Won't even think about it. No looking, no talking, no thinking about it. Just leave it. And then, you know, after a few days or whatever, I'll look at it. And sometimes I immediately know what to do. And sometimes I'm still like, no, I don't know what to do. But I get asked a lot, how do you know when to stop? Those are my rules. When I don't know what to do anymore, I stop and just don't think about it. Would it take away if you paint the blackest walls? I kind of feel like it might because the lady she's very crisp, right? She's obviously the focus. I wish I had a ponytail holder over here. Guys, I hate wearing my hair down. She's obviously the focus. She's very crisp, which means we're focused on her. So if these were like walls that were very specific and everything, they would have to be very blurred out. Because, you know, if you're focused on something in the distance, if you're looking at something in the distance, things that are right here are blurry. And if the walls were in focus, I think that it would look weird, because then they'd both be in focus, and then the walls would kind of become the focus of the painting. I do kind of like, right now, if I had to call this done somehow, I do kind of like Debbie's idea of cutting it out. I probably wouldn't restretch it though. I would probably, I'm okay with raw. I'm okay with raw edges. So I would probably like cut it out, and with some of that foam, you know, the foam backing stuff, kind of mount it onto like a foam core board and frame it. And so the edges, you know, hung out loose. And I would probably intentionally fray the canvas a little bit, because I'm kind of a mess like that. So I don't know what to do with it, but I really, really like that one lady. And I feel like I could make her stand out even more. Yeah, I can. I want to make her stand out just a little bit more. Let's zoom in there just a bit. So that's probably what I would do, is just rip it out and mount it on a board. Not everything has to be tidy. So let's come in here. I'm probably going to stick my hand in wet paint. And we're really going to separate her from this lady. So what do you guys think about like an art meditation video? It wouldn't be all like, you know, sitting with your legs crossed and your eyes closed going Om. It wouldn't be anything like that. It would be, you know, like the focus would really be about finding enjoyment in little tiny movements, little tiny changes. So kind of what I'm doing in here. Almost like, I guess the same type of principles as like making the little mandala rocks, right? Like the one that Debbie made with the, you know, the dots. I think that I can see how you would find kind of like a meditative perfection in doing something like that. I think that's way too structured for me. I could not do that as meditation, because the structure of it would stress me out. But if that's something that works for you, that's perfectly fine, you know. But I do like the idea of finding a way to kind of convey that, just, you know, to let go of any kind of conceived notions like this has to look this way, or it has to look this way, or I have to be able to show this to someone and have them be proud of me. I have to be able to give this as a gift. I don't want to waste canvas. You know, all of those things that we've all said to ourselves when we're painting, all of those things that hold us back from pure enjoyment of the process. That's what I'm really talking about, is pure enjoyment. And it's kind of a, I don't really know how to explain it, because, I mean, I guess if it's something I think I might want to do, I have to figure out how to explain it. But I just think that so many people are way too hung up on just little bits, that they don't get to ever have that pure enjoyment. You know, like if you were to show me what you did afterwards, which you never have to show anybody, but if you were to, and you say, well, you know, it's not great, but I enjoyed the process, then I would be willing to bet that you did not actually get pure enjoyment out of it. If at the end you're looking at it, you're like, well, you know, it's okay, but I had a good time. It doesn't have to be okay. It doesn't have to be anything. It can be total garbage. It can be complete garbage that should be immediately set on fire and should never be shown to anybody. That is not the point. You know, what you end up with at the end matters not in the least when you're doing it for nothing but pure enjoyment. And so that's what I want to try and get across with kind of the meditation thing. So I really kind of darkened those other two ladies a bit to, again, help set this one apart. And I still feel like, man, I could just go on forever with that white dress. And I feel like I could bring it down more and really connect it up all the way down here, and maybe even like spread it out into this area so it kind of flows down and kind of kicks back up around. And I just said, I don't even care, and stuck my hand in the wet paint because it was easier than caring. Good idea. Good. Just painting to my voice. Yeah, not having to pay attention to an outcome. Good. Okay. Well, I will work on that and see if I can come up with something that that I feel like would be helpful, or that is along the lines of what I'm talking about. You know, it's difficult for me sometimes because, right, I mean, I kind of paint on a stage. And when people tune into an art channel, they want to see art that they can go, oh, I like that. Or, you know, there's a fraction of people who want to say, ew, I hate that. And that's what they go looking for. But either way, people don't really come to art channels to see an artist just kind of doing nothing. So that's a challenge for me, is how do I do nothing, express the enjoyment in doing nothing, but keep an audience entertained? You know what I mean? Because there would be people, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying what you probably initially will think I'm saying. There will be a fraction of people who come in and they're like, this is ugly. Why would I want to paint that? When what is being painted, like I said, doesn't matter. It can be ugly. So I need to figure that out, because I also don't want to be like, and then look at the amazing painting I created, so that you guys listen to what I say and your paintings don't come out looking amazing. And then you're frustrated. You're like, even when she doesn't pay attention and does nothing, it looks amazing, but it's really because I put a lot of work into it, so I didn't disappoint you or turn you away because I was creating something ugly. So, yeah, I have to figure that out. Just how do I communicate it without turning you off with an ugly painting? Trying to find how this connects there. There's not a lot of texture that kind of takes it from that one area into the next. There we go. Maybe just a little. Yeah, Debbie. Yeah, that's a really good meditative art form too. I'm doing it now. I don't feel like this is, no. I mean, yeah, I know what you're saying, Atra, but I mean, I also have the benefit of kind of starting with something here. And that's something that I started with is something that's a little bit too elaborate to kind of start with, as far as like, here, I'm going to teach you guys how to meditate. First, you have to go through this big rigmarole of creating this canvas, you know, with plastic wrap. Let it sit and dry for 3 weeks before you get around to it. And hopefully you'll find a really interesting lady with her arms up that you can then kind of go off the deep end with. But I mean, I know what you're saying. Oh yeah, did I tell you, somebody said something about think about it on the next break, and so I definitely will. My next break will be sometimes you need ugly. Shannon? Truth. Truth, truth, truth. My next break will be, oh, I just got a little bit of vertigo. The end of December into January. So I'm going to publish my last video for the year on December 18th. So we're about a month away from that. December 18th will be my last painting. And I'm going to take Christmas, which is a Tuesday, and New Year's Day, which is also a Tuesday. And I will publish my next video on January 8th. So it'll just be a 2-week break this time. Yeah, Donna, that's a good idea too. Yep. Shannon, that is actually kind of what I was thinking. I do like that idea, actually. I think I may have to paint out some of that silver because I feel like it's taking away from the white a little bit. It's hard to really see a lot of the texture there because of that silver. Sorry, it's probably really loud when I bonk my microphone like that. I'm sorry. So let's get a little bit of black. Olaf's just standing back there staring at me like a creeper. And I'm painting negative space inside of the texture. So I see a line there, so I'm kind of painting down along the edge of that line. And then where I don't see a line, I can kind of fake it. So I don't see a line back here. So I just smear it out. See? If you guys have never done any negative space painting, I encourage you to try. Maybe that's what we'll do for... There's that helicopter again, guys. Seriously, there must be something going on out there. Maybe that's what we'll do for our little meditative thing, is some negative space painting. For me, it's super, super meditative. Oh, see, that's so much better. That was just a little bit, too. Yes. Random question, what brand of mic do I use? It is... Hang on, I'm going to sneeze. I'm always a 2 sneezer, so give me just a second. Nope. Okay. I muted my mic so I wouldn't sneeze in your face. So it's a whole setup. So I have my Zoom. This is like the unit, and I can use it as a microphone too if I just unplug this bit here. And then it's a wireless, so I guess the microphone is a Sony. This is the little wireless receiver. And then I wear the other one on me here. So it's a Sony, and then the recorder part is a Zoom. And Vince and I were looking at getting another microphone, like the little receiver thing. I got these when I did the YouTube Next Step thing a couple years ago. And so I was looking into it, and I thought, oh, the Zoom, the recorder was the expensive part. I was like, I'm pretty sure that was like $600. And then the microphone was probably like $200. It was the opposite. The recorder was like $200, and the microphone was seriously like $600 or $700. I'm like, oh, well, we won't be buying another one of those right now. So I think I really like that, and I do want to take that white around more. What do you guys think? Should we work on this one for a while? Should we work on it in our next? Because there's not, I mean, you can see that it's shiny from where the plastic was touching it, but like all through here is actually texture that I can feel. And all through here, I can feel all that texture. It's very heavy texture. So I can easily take this white up through there. But here it's going to be a little more challenging. There's no real, yeah, there's not a lot of texture going on through there. Atra, go on B&H Video's website. They have other ones too. Yeah, they have other ones. You might be able to get something cheaper. And if you have a Radio Shack near you, I think there's still Radio Shacks here and there. If you have a Radio Shack near you, they might have something a little bit more affordable too. I had free money from YouTube, and I was like, heck yes, I'm buying all the best. $700? Sure. Trying more texture with medium. So Pat, that's kind of what I was thinking of doing. Maybe I can take, so kind of where my head is going is maybe I'll take a little bit of matte medium or something, and stick it down with plastic just like we did, so I get some similar texture, and kind of build that texture up through there. And then we can paint onto that. That's kind of what I was thinking. And then in the meantime, we can work on either just completely ignoring this area that I painted black, or, you know, who knows, maybe me or one of you guys will come up with an idea. You're like, let's do that in that area. Or at the end, we can just cut this out and we'll just keep this area. So, you know, we have a lot of options. We can do any of that. And I'm open to continuing to work on this one with you guys. Absolutely. Glazing medium, yeah, we can use, yeah. You could do that instead of matte medium. I don't think I have any more glazing medium. I'll have to look and see. But I really love the movement here that we've got kind of pulling down a bit. And I would like to see that continue somehow. And I really love that you guys pointed those out. Still don't see the fifth one. I see where you're talking about. Right there. But I just don't see a lady. The gel medium, we could try it. I kind of wonder if the gel medium would be a little too heavy. This is very, very thick. And this texture that we've got on here is very, very thin and delicate. So it would look totally different, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, either way, it's going to look different. So we might as well make it look really different. Should we just go ahead and get that ready now? so that we can have it there when we do our next one. It will be dry and let's see. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Here's the other thing with using gel medium is I would have to lay it here, and then when I put the plastic on it, so it's going to be like a negative. So here where my texture is poking up, if we put, yeah, I think the lady's pretty dry. If I put the gel on and then the crinkled plastic on top of it, the texture is going to be down. So it would end up being completely different, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I do worry that it would get away from me. Let's try some matte medium and see what happens. All right, matte medium. I'm just going to kind of sprinkle some on there. All right. Should we take a little bit of that down into the blacked out part? All right. Yeah, we could always black out those other ladies or turn them into a forest, and maybe it's just that lady in the white dress and everything else is a forest. You guys come up with the best ideas. That's why I love hanging out with you. All right. Get that plastic crumpled up. Mush it, mush it, mush it. And we'll set that there, and we'll set that there. And we'll set that there. I can already tell, guys, this is going to give some really interesting texture, this matte medium. With all that glare, you really can't tell, but that is going to give some super interesting texture. I'm excited to see how that comes out. Let's see, I need something else. We'll just put the matte medium right there. And yes, I still have a bottle of rubbing alcohol on my desk for some reason. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna leave that to dry. And I'll try really hard not to peel it off before I see you guys next time. I'll do my best. Okay, yeah. I think all of these are really good ideas. They're all valid ideas, and I'm excited to see how this all works out. In fact, you know what? I am going to just put a book on top of this because I don't want to end up with a ring like where the matte medium was sitting. And then areas where there's nothing sitting, see, I already have a little bit of a ring there from that tube of paint. I don't want a ring. I have parts that are kind of popping up where there's nothing sitting on it. So I'm just going to set the book back on top of it. So there. We will let that dry and come back and see how it changed up in a couple of weeks. Next weekend. No peeking. All right. I might peek. And by peek, I mean lift the book. But I won't lift the plastic. I promise. And you'll be able to tell if I lift the plastic. You saw it today. It was like, it'll be the same. So I won't lift the plastic. I promise. I don't think I can do it next week. Oh, no. Not next week. That's Christmas shopping. Everybody's going to be Christmas insane next week. So how about December 1st, week after next? And I'm going to be super busy because I'm going to be doing a sale on my paintbrushes next weekend. So if you guys need brushes, wait, get them next week because they'll be on sale. And remember that I still have the paintings on, they're not public yet. I probably will push those out tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but that's not going to happen today. Make the paintings that Vince has for sale public. So if you want something, you haven't gotten it yet, go get it. We will still be adding more stuff. I have lots more stuff to add. So yeah. So brushes on sale next week. Yay! We will get together and work on this again on December 1st. And that's it. So you guys have anything else you want to talk about for a minute before we go? If not, I'm going to go see about finding what Vince bought for dinner, and I guess I'll get cooking because it's 4 o'clock now. We are 90 years old, so we eat dinner really early because I fall asleep by 8:30. I was asleep by 8:30 last night because I'm old. So, all right, yes to December 1st, and goodbye, everyone. So I will go as well. So have a good one, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow for a jam session. So I hope you're all there. So, bye-bye. And I'm still going to be there.